alongside the nice cosy warmth of hotel football. 100 miles per hour gale force winds out there, Jesus. 3-0 though, 3-0.
Yeah.
Got the job done. We're through to out the group stages unscathed. Didn't even concede a goal so far.
I don't think we conceded a goal. Yeah,
No.
Tournament,
So far. So things are rosy. We're going to win Europa League, aren't we?
No, I don't know about that.
What did you make of it today?
Obviously, they're only, I don't know what level they are. They're probably something like bottom of the championship or top of the next division down, something like that. But obviously, Mata played, which everyone knows. I'm glad he played, and I do think he made a difference. For me, he was probably man of the match. Some people might think I'm going over the top, but who else can you give it to? Rashford missed 4 really good chances in the first half. Marshall didn't get into it as much as he could. Scored a great goal though. And McTominay and Fred in the first half, the passing was absolutely appalling. The number of times they give it away. I know Mata lost it a couple of times, but they all lost it more than he did. And obviously he was also a bit brighter. The little thing he did on the 6-yard box to set Rashford up was brilliant.
And he should have scored again.
And his pass across the field to Young and Young's layoff for Rashford Rashford's goal was brilliant. So for me, Mata was man of the match, and fingers crossed. I hope he keeps his place for weekend. If I can jump ahead to weekend, if McTominay and Fred are passing the ball like they passed it today, we've got no chance of breaking. Whether one Mata plays, whether Marshall plays, we've got no chance of breaking them down. Brighton, if they're going to be twice as good as them, and we're going to have a right tough game if they play like that.
Is that the problem with them two in there? Like the effort levels are good, the energy levels are good. They get about the pitch, they nibble at your heels, they put it about. But when we're looking at quality on the ball, just at Man United in general, not just those two players, in that area, we're struggling to keep the ball consistently. And that's why, like we're seeing against better teams, we are getting undone.
Yeah. Well, against the poorer teams, we're struggling to break them down. Against the better teams, we're not doing too bad, are we? Against Liverpool, against Chelsea.
We're on the back foot trying to counter.
So they're working out all right like that. But that game today, their passing was so poor. I'd be amazed if we break down a better team who were camped back. I'd be amazed.
Yeah, because Partizan are poor.
Yeah. So it was but still, it was a good win. But like I say, we said to you before off camera, we've played Rochdale, we've played Astana. We tried it with the kids. These are better than both Rochdale and Astana. Astana are the whipping boys of the group, aren't they? And we've struggled to beat them. And we've beat these comfortably. So it did make a difference.
Mason Greenwood goal. I don't know what you thought, but before he actually scored, everything was coming down our left, so he wasn't really in the game. So I was thinking I would like Mason to get into the game more, but it shows that he is predatory in terms of he's got that instinct ready on his feet. He wasn't quite in the game, but managed to score at the first time of asking. Is that big for him going forward, or did you see it as more of these type of appearances for him across the rest of the season?
I think it's big for him. Obviously against this level of opposition, he's played 3 times, started 3 times, and scored 3 goals. He's clearly got a calm head in front of goal. The chances that Rashford missed in the first half, I think if 4 of them, because there was 4 of them, Greenwood probably would have put 2 of them away. He's probably not quite as quick as Rashford, probably not quite as strong, but that might come. So I think Rashford might have a problem keeping his place before you know it. Because well, Dan James is playing well. I mean, Dan James is rested tonight. Look, Rashford's going to keep his place for the near future for certain. But they're talking about buying another striker in January. I don't know what level of striker that'll be. Whether it'll be Mandzukic, as they're talking about. But if they buy a new striker, if it's a striker that they're going to put in the starting lineup, does that dislodge Marshall out of the team? But Marshall, to me, I know most people have come round to my way of thinking, as a striker, Rashford's not as good as Marshall. But for me, Marshall's just a better player. So if we've got a new striker, then Marshall's going to get shoved out to the left, surely. So I don't. Unless the new striker's going to come in as a squad man and be on the bench more. So would that be interesting? I watched Goldbridge's show on Monday night. I think it might have been Sunday night's show, but I watched it on Monday, and I found it dead interesting. He was talking about the state that we're in, and how scary it is, how far we've dropped in the space of 18 months.
Is it scary too?
I think it's scary. It's unbelievable how far we've dropped. But I think I know why it's happened. Well, in fact, I think I know why it's happened without a doubt. And I mentioned, when I first spoke to you this season, I think probably, 2 months ago, a lot of people were laughing at me when I mentioned Smalling, mentioned Lukaku, mentioned Fellaini. I've been doing a little bit of homework. And if you can just, because I don't think you're a fan of those players, but if you can just put blinkers on for a minute and think about, rather than any preconceptions, what you've got from watching those players play, and look at the CVs of those players, right? Think about this. Smalling's played 9 seasons for Manchester United. He's finished 7th once. He's finished 6th maybe 3 times, nearly always in the top 5. So that's this level of player that he is. Now, where are we now? 10th. And I think we're a bit lucky to be 10th, right? I'll just sidetrack a little bit. If you looked at the fixtures, we've already played Liverpool at home, we've played Arsenal at home, we've played Chelsea at home, we've played Leicester at home.
It's all the tough ones to come.
We've got all them to go to. We've still got to play City twice. Don't know how Spurs are going to do, but we've still got to play Spurs twice. We could have tougher fixtures to come to what we've already had. So Smalling, for me, is he's just a player who plays all his career as a top 6 player, right? Now, he's gone to Roma. Roma are now 3rd in Serie A.
And he's doing well as well.
He's getting raved about. He's getting raved about. They're calling him Smaldini in Rome. He's raving about him. Now, Lukaku, another one. I know lots of people who are watching this will say, well, he was overweight, he had to go, he fell out with the manager because the manager stopped picking him. The manager stopped picking him. They had fair enough, they had a fallout. He did have to go in the end, and I've said all this before, but think of it this way. He's gone to Inter Milan, who were 2nd in the league, by the way.
And he was always going to score goals in Serie A. I don't think anyone doubted that as well.
Right, they're 2nd in the league. They're 1 point behind Juventus. They're 1 point behind Juventus. So he's gone there, he's scored 9 goals, they're 2nd in the league. He's another player who's clearly a top 6 player. He's going to play for a club who are in the top 6, whatever league he goes to. Right, he's a top 6 player. Marouane Fellaini, this one will blow your mind. He played in the Premier League for 11 seasons. He played 6 seasons with United and 5 seasons with Everton. He's never finished lower than 8th. He had 5 seasons with Everton. I've been studying it all. They finished 8th once. They finished 7th once. They finished 6th twice, right? They finished 5th once, Everton.
So are you getting at that Man United is what's making these players look worse than they are?
Well, they're not. To me, they're not looking worse. I liked them. Yeah. They're not looking worse.
Shouldn't have got rid.
The fans don't like them. And obviously, Ollie didn't like them.
Were they misused then?
I think so. Now, Fellaini has gone to China because they're paying him millions of pounds. Now, we've also... most of the fans wanted Smalling to go. They wanted Lukaku to go. They wanted Fellaini to go. I didn't want any of them to go. I would say most wanted Herrera to stay, but they didn't match his wages. But think of it this way. Lukaku, Smalling and Herrera have all gone to better teams. It used to be that when you left Man United, you're going down. Nobody can deny that Inter Milan, Roma and PSG are all better teams than Man United. So fans wanted him to leave, including Goldbridge, by the way. I've heard him slagging him.
I think a lot of United fans did,
all the fans wanted him to leave. Is anybody surprised that they're actually playing for better teams than us now?
You look at, Fellaini, I mean,
I'm not saying Fellaini's playing for the better team. He's not playing for the better team.
No, I'm not saying playing, but when he was here, though, what I'm saying is that surely you would have... He was like plan A, like playing long ball. You talk about how Man United are on the fall from grace. Is saying Fellaini then and hoofing it forward to him as our primary... Because at the time he was it, that's how we were playing. But, that is it. I mean, this is like a separate show here, but
he was a squad player for United in the end. He was a squad player. In his last season, he only played 15 games. I wish he was here now to play 15 games. Don't tell me you don't. He's proper useful. You bring him on against...
Plan B, 100%. Plan B, Plan C.
And he was a squad player, so you've got to have a squad. Lukaku and Smalling should be in the team. Harry Maguire, right? Look, I slagged Harry Maguire off once. He's not as bad as I said. He's all right. But little things, I'm talking about CVs here. He's played 3 seasons in the Premier League. He's finished 9th. I've checked it all. He's finished 9th twice with Leicester, right? 9th, and he's been relegated once. Marouane Fellaini played 11 seasons in the Premier League and never finished lower than 8th.
So you're saying he's got better credentials,
he's
right?
He's got a better CV.
Okay.
So we're getting rid of the players. Now, the other thing that's being said all the time is we're like this because of the lack of investment. We needed a little bit of investment to make us stronger. So we needed to keep those players, or most of them, plus sign 1 or 2. We've gone weaker because we got rid of our better players, the players with the better CVs. That's what I'm asking you to think about.
Okay, fair enough. That's interesting point from Ricky. This is almost like another show. I think we need to look at that. You know, because this was a fan cam on today's game.
Sorry, oh, sorry, there you go. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But food for thought, and I think drop your views in the comments in what Ricky's saying. You know, were we wrong to get rid of the likes of Lukaku, the likes of Fellaini, the likes of Chris Smalling? Let us know what you think. And for the next game, should Mata be playing in the number 10 position against Brighton? Who was your man of the match today to finish off?
One Mata.
You heard it first. Well, not first, probably about the 5th time today. Nice one. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos. And if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.